Good evening, guys. I know it's late. It's after 10 o'clock p.m. Not going to be on here long. I definitely want to share some information with you on tonight. Many of you, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people wondering and trying to figure out what's happening with Bitcoin. I just want to let you know that Bitcoin is on sale. That's right, it is on sale. So that means while those individuals who are selling that Bitcoin, you need to be buying Bitcoin, all right? Again, while people are selling Bitcoin, you need to be buying it. Buy it up. Make sure you are buying more Bitcoin. All right, so tonight's topic is basically talking about today is Metaverse Mondays. And of course, in our platform, we talk about the metaverse, but the market has been yielding some uncertainty in the markets. A lot of people are just unsure, like what's happening in the market. It's doing this thing and it's doing a retracement. So I just want to share with you some information in the seed to let you know why it's doing the retracement that it is doing, and the reason why you need to be connected to an education source so you know how to focus your attention when it comes to investing. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to be sharing some information with you on tonight. And the reason why I'm sharing is because everybody looking at the price of Bitcoin has gone down, is in within what, $30,000, $32,000. They feel like, oh, Bitcoin is not going to never, make a turn around and do anything else. Yes, it is. This is a prime opportunity for you to buy more Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, an opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. So I want you to see what we got going on today. What we got going on today. Because we just had these guys just to leave. They just came off of a live, which we have the opportunity every single day, guys, to get on a live session with educators that's going to basically guide us to what's happening in the markets, how we position ourselves to invest, what to make, how we move those to make those moves, and how often we need to make those moves. Okay. All right. So
now I believe, and this is either going to be, guys, be very honest. We are either going to see Luna go to zero, Terra USD go to zero, Anchor to zero, or this will be a bounce back for the century. And there's really one person, or there's really their team has a decision to make. Can we get more things to back US? They need to get more Bitcoin to T ASAP, because that is really what's dragging or helping drag down this entire market. I mean, we really haven't seen on the weekly time frame 7 consistent weeks Bitcoin has dropped. We haven't seen that in a very, very, very long time. Yeah. And I'll look at Bitcoin here first. Now, please remember, sometimes people forget, we were here July of last year, so almost a year ago. We swept these lows and everybody was saying, oh my God, 20K, 20K, 20K. And that obviously didn't happen. Now, could that happen on this run? Sure. But understand of where we're at in the market, what we need to see take place. And actually, real quick, when it comes to Terra USD, before I forget, if you're holding TUSD, obviously this is not financial advice. You need to make your own decision. Remember, Curve is a platform that allows you to, and if you look, DAI is still holding, right? USDC, that chart. Whoops. And we've broken down this level, and we actually to DCA. If this breaks, we could see all of crypto fall back under $1 trillion, which at that point, is a lot of
Okay,
this money is being staked, is locked up right now.
Just
so
fast forwarding it a little bit.
On a technical standpoint, we're trading into this last push here before we took off. We initially caught Luna at 44. Okay, back in January. Now we at 160.
Let me see. Where was I? I had it marked.
But what happens when Bitcoin in 2024 is at 125K, 150K? I want you guys to really, and it's easy to say today, but I really want you guys to think 2024. Where am I going to be at in my business? Where am I going to be at in my crypto portfolio? I really want you to have this 2-year vision and understanding how these Bitcoin blocks, this halving works. Does DAI pay interest to keep your coin? Yeah, you can find ways to make money off of DAI stablecoin, but it's 4 to 6 to 8%, which is stable in my opinion. 20% aggressive, and right now UST is going through, and it's going through that for a reason. So what would you say, Kurt, on the halving and really what happens leading up to that period? Because some people don't understand this. We have a lot of new people on here today.
So a lot of times when we talk about crypto and having that, that foresight on what's coming, you have to look at it in the context of supply and demand. That's the biggest draw to Bitcoin amount, 21 million. But the thing about it is that 21 million mark gets further and further away from us with more time. The halving actually allows us to have that decentralized, management that we asset like this, because now there's never going to be some sort of committee that decides, we're going to just print as much Bitcoin as we want to because we need it. Literally every 4 years, the Bitcoin blockchain goes through something called the halving, where the amount of Bitcoin that comes into circulation gets cut in half. So every 10 minutes, there's a certain amount of Bitcoin that gets released. You guys are seeing on the chart right now that Mike's showing, just before a halving, you see the market kind of just goes a little bit quiet, a little stagnant, and then right after the halving, we go parabolic, right?
Yeah.
And you're noticing that the third halving is going to be coming up, or it happened in March of last year. Not last. Was it 2020?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2020. The next happened in 2024. So you guys are noticing.
So you just heard what he said. Every 4 years, the Bitcoin blockchain chain goes through what is an halving issue. Means every 4 years, there's only a limited amount of Bitcoin that's going to be released. So let me tell you what people are doing. And this is why this is so important, because this is why once you see those people that are selling their Bitcoin, you have others that are buying it up. And they're basing it on the fact that there's a chart that shows the emotions. They're basically trading inside of their emotions, which you should never do. You should never trade. You should never trade Bitcoin inside of emotion. Not at all. Because when you do that, you're accident prone, and you're subject to do some illogical trading. So that's why you need people, you need educators in this space that actually gives you let's see, where is this? Where did I see this? That gives you that guidance to kind of tell you where, utilize their expertise to understand what the market is and how you should act accordingly. I still say buy Bitcoin. Because if you don't and you don't get in it and you see that it does this parabolic move, then you're going to be upset because you acted out of emotion instead of hanging in there. I'm just trying to see where everything is, because I wanted to show you where it is true that you even have some of America's poorest countries, crime-filled countries that are investing in this and what it's doing for their economy. And then I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna let them talk about more of how our economy reacts to Bitcoin and the US dollar. All right, so let's see. Is this it?
And then July, August could be really some huge months, the summer for crypto. But right now, you're seeing obviously huge pullbacks. Now, really, Bitcoin was going to drop after we broke the 35, but this is really just not helping the market because Terra stablecoin has lost peg. We talked about UST being an option, dollar, or helping drag down this swept before I forget DC.
All right,
or
so it may
chart.
Go a little bit further.
And
so let me just start where we were.
Management that we need the asset like this, because now there's never going to be some sort of committee that decides, oh, we're going to just Bitcoin as we want to, because we need it. Literally every 4 years, the Bitcoin blockchain goes through something called the happening, where the amount of Bitcoin that comes into circulation gets cut in half. So every 10 minutes, there's a certain amount of Bitcoin. As seen on the chart showing just before a halving, you see the market kind of just goes a little bit quiet, a little stagnant, and then right after the halving, we go parabolic, right?
Yeah.
And you're noticing that the third half of last year, not last, was it 2020?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2020. The next halving is scheduled for 2024. That's why I said me and Mike already lived 24. So notice in that first paragraph where it says happening event, when you notice that we're going to be moving from 6.25 Bitcoin, which is what we get every 10 minutes, 6.25 Bitcoin are released Bitcoin blockchain, and they're shared amongst all the miners. After, because it varies with the date, May 3rd, 2024, it'll be down to 3.125 every 10 minutes being shared amongst the entire network, right? This doesn't mean every miner gets 3 Bitcoin. It means the entirety of the entire Bitcoin blockchain is going to share 0.125 Bitcoin for the next 4 years, right?
Yeah.
This tells us that the amount of Bitcoin is going to be circulating is going to be very, very valuable and more sought after from big money movers, big investors, institutions, things like that. In the normal side of trading, in the normal side of investing, because crypto is not a normal asset. Bitcoin is not a normal asset, all right? Yeah. They want you to treat it like a stock. They want you to treat it like it's real estate. This is not the same thing, okay? This is not exactly the same thing. Now, yes, it has different amounts. It has, people can buy it and hold it and all that good stuff. But I want you guys to pay attention to what happens to the price of Bitcoin after a halving. You're seeing the first one, price went parabolic. You see the second one, price went parabolic, right? So we realize over time that this is going to be consistent with Bitcoin and how it moves and how it works. The third halving was 2020. We saw prices were a little stagnant, right? We had the COVID drop, and then halving was right after that. And then that price has already gone and made a new high. This chart is old, but it's already taken off and going all the way up to, like we said, 60,000, almost 70,000. So just understand, family, in 2024, we expect to see something very similar, but the lead up to that could be consolidation. It could be another dip. It could be a full-fledged bear market just before, right? The market always has to correct before the halving comes. So right now, we could actually be in the beginning of that correction that ran us all the way from, the beginning of the COVID drop, right? From 4K all the way up to almost $70,000. We could be seeing that correction now, pulling us back down into the 30s, maybe high 20s. And then from there, a little bit of stagnation. Like Mike said, maybe end of summer, we start seeing some growth. And right after that, because I told you guys that election's coming up, that midterm is on the way, and we can start seeing less and less inflation talk, a tapering down. Instead of 50 basis points, we can go down to 25 basis points, which would excite the market again. And we see another run right before the election in November for those midterms. So I want you guys to be very mindful of what you see right now. All right. Mike gave you guys also a glimpse into what the dollar looks like when Democrats are in control as well. And we're either for or against any political party. It's just knowing how the market typically moves when you see things like that lining up. All right. He showed you guys here over and over and over, Democrats, Republicans, back and forth. And you'll see when Democrats are in office, the dollar typically does what? Strengthens, right? When Republicans are in office, the market typically does what? Goes down, because Republicans want a weaker dollar, because with a weaker dollar, what happens? Stock market runs, assets run, like real estate runs, right? We start to see your money multiply faster when the dollar is weak. But when on the other end, when Democrats are in control, the dollar strengthens. Now we see the markets correct and start to fall. So right now, with the Democrats being in power, we'll see potentially a weakening of all the markets, and then we'll see that correction. And then moving forward, who knows, 2024, your boy may get back in, right? Orange man bad may decide to come back, right? We got another repeat or whatever. Who knows, right? Because I keep hearing Dos Santos may make a run for it. Who knows? So we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm simply saying, family, just be mindful of the market conditions. Do not allow your opinions, do not allow your emotions to sway you from making informed decisions, right? I know it's difficult when you're new, because you're like, I put my money in here yesterday, Kurt. This thing should be doubling, not going the other way. I understand what you're saying, but be mindful of what you're doing right now inside the space, family. Like, nobody here is betting the entire farm on the market. We're making sure that we're making informed decisions at the right times, at the right levels, risking 1 or 2% of our account, no matter what is happening, right? Whether it's bullish, whether it's bearish, only risking 1 or 2% of our account. And you have to keep that mindset throughout the entire process. I've been screaming this because I get it. We get excited. We get amped up. Oh, man, it's going to do this amazing thing. Be patient. The halving is on the way. We have the dollar reaching crazy heights that we haven't seen the dollar reach since, I guess, 2002, right? We've already passed 2016 levels with the highs that we're making now for the dollar. So we're noticing right now that everything right now is lining up. I mean, that chart right there is screaming the entire premise of what I'm screaming right now, right? You see Republicans are in, dollar falls. Democrats are in, dollar rises. It's pretty straightforward, right? So we understand when elections hit, how the market's going to potentially move. We understand during a president's run, how they want the markets to move. If you understand the name of the game, it's not a really hard premise, family. You just have to find the right assets and ride out the movement.
Yeah, facts. And, understand, like, the first halving, Bitcoin was at $10, okay? From halving 1 to halving 2, 4 years. How 4 years people go to school. 4 years is really that thing that we're taught. So I'm going to encourage you guys to cut that in half from today. Really have this 2-year mentality in your portfolio and be aware, right? From halving 1 to halving 2, Bitcoin was at about $700. So from 10 to 700, that's a 70x. Okay. From halving 2 to halving 3, we went from 700 to 10,000. So we had about a 10, let's just say a 10x, but it's a little bit more. And then from halving 3 to halving 4, about 10 to 70K, it's a 7X. Even if price only were a 3 or 4X, we're in that six-figure Bitcoin, maybe a little bit more, 110, 120, 130,000, even if that took 2 years to get to halving 4. Yes, we're seeing the numbers go down, which is okay. But even if it was at 100 or 120K in 2 years, in 724 days, you're not going to find an asset class like crypto. The key is those entries. The key is dollar cost averaging and understanding, right? It's fear, right? Today, or maybe just this week, people probably felt like they've been in crypto. Maybe you got in crypto like last week. You probably felt like you've been in this for like 6 months. But I wonder if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Today alone, you could have been like, wow, I've just been watching this whole thing drop. We've seen this story happen before. If you really want to go back in time and you really want to see some aggressive drops, this is like when Picasso joined. And he tells us these stories all the time. You know, Bitcoin hit $258 and then it dropped to 61. Then it ran to $1,000 and then it dropped to $144. Don't you think? And you can see, you know, liquidity just being ran, and we finally find some stability here. The market consolidates and then recovers through time. So this is not something that's new. Now the question is, okay, what's going to be in my portfolio? What are going to be my entries moving forward? You know, I'm looking at Gallo right now. And where is the chart? I think it's on this one. And Gallo right now is on my radar to drop on Swipecoin. I gave you guys the entries on the last session. It actually might have just hit, but it's okay. I'd like to see it at 10 cents. It almost hit 10 cents.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I'm pretty sure you heard what he said. A lot of times when you have different governments or the different parties, political parties, you begin to see how the dollar actually moves. That's very helpful to you as a trader. If you're looking to diversify and you actually need to know what's going on in the markets from an education standpoint. This is a tool. This is a great tool. Getting on live with our educators, it's going to really help you a lot to engage what's actually happening. It'll make you reevaluate your trading style. It'll make you basically reevaluate and absolutely make sure, do your checks and balances when it comes to knowing when to enter the market or when to get out of the market. Again, we always tell you that we don't like to do no more than 1 to 3% of your account when you are trading and investing. And this is stuff that, you know, for Bitcoin, for what I do, I also educate people on how you can make money from Bitcoin and not even own it. But the point is, I want you to do both, because both is going to be very beneficial. You can have money to the side and saving it, but you can also, excuse me, you can also learn a skill set, how to trade it when you don't even own a single portion or parcel of the coin. It is still possible that you can make money, and that's money deposited into your account without you having really to do anything. And, you know, here recently, we just seen a couple of months ago, we saw El Salvador jump in and start to buy Bitcoin. And then we also, about a week or two ago, there was my other colleague whose parent passed away. Excuse me, whose parent passed away. So, you know, I guess the reason why I said that's significant, that all this that I'm talking about, you're going to need to start buying these coins when everybody else is selling them. This is information that you can store up. See, this is like an emergency fund for you. Like we educate people about keeping at least 6 months of emergency fund somewhere where you can get access to it. Well, you never know what happens. Sudden, home goings, transitioning, those things can happen at any given time, any given point. So you want to be able to have something stored away just in case, life circumstances happen. And that's what I am here for. That's what I do. I assist in that. So I'm gonna show you one other way that we look at this, how we take a look at making money off of coin projects or off of a currency or off of currency pairs without even owning them. That's what really got me into this platform, is because I was like, wow, I didn't see at that time, most everything in investments that you only did was stocks, which I was investing stocks, but also you can invest in what is called, I don't know the name of it, but you can actually invest in trading, with coin projects, the foreign exchange market, without even owning any of it. None of it, actually. You can make money off of owning none of it. So I wanted to show you guys a mechanism that we use a lot a lot that we use to trade with. And I just wanted to share with you so you can see this, actually how this goes hand in hand. So what you're looking at right now is a strategy called our hourglass. And as you can see towards the right of the screen, these are different currency pairs that you might see. If I scroll all the way down, you might see where you can trade gold, you can trade silver. But most of these are currency pairs. I think you can also trade cryptocurrency inside of this. So as you can see, most of these trades going out 5 minutes ago, and that's when, according to this chart, every candle comes out every 5 minutes. So in just a few, you're going to see, here we go. It's just updated itself. Every candle that it formed 5 minutes ago. So we're looking at the Australian dollar against the Swiss franc. And to me, that like those two, they're too close for comfort. So let me see. Let me check the currency meter, because this is how what's a good currency pair to trade in the markets. If not from it, based upon news and based upon the factors that come into play before we get involved in any of the trading for it. But this is the reason why we say, you can't trade any. So see the countries with the bars, pound, Australian dollar, Swiss franc, bit up there. Here, and I don't know what that is. We normally don't use that, but I look at this. All right, so we see that this may be a good one. AUDJPY. AUDJPY. So 6871971. So when I look at this, we're going to look at that currency pair, and we're going to find it, and we're going to actually put in a trade, because it looks like for that particular currency pair, it looks like the market is moving in a uptrend. So we're going to open up this pocket option broker, which is a broker that we use in order to place our trades that, or for you, just to indicate what direction that you're trading in based upon the factors. And the DJPY is a good, looks like it's AUDJPY. And I'm using a broker called Pocket Option. And Pocket Option is very simple to use. It's just loading up very slowly, guys. It's very simple to use. Let's see. Let's go into Pocket Option again. See if we can do it one more time. Let it load up. But guys, what I'm showing you is how you can make money on currency that you don't even own. And that's money given to you within a 60 second to 120 second time period. And 20, which is 3 minute. I use this because I don't use Pocket Option like that. So I'm going to use this as a demo. Oh, come on. I think my computer is getting to a point where the storage or the memory is taking up a lot of space. So I want to put it on demo so you guys can see what happens, how we're able to make money. Simple as 1, 2, 3. It's moving a little slow. I'm gonna get out of that. We're gonna use this demo account here. And see, that trade is probably already gone. Because remember, the candles open up every 5 minutes. A new candle is formed every 5 minutes. So we're going to use. All right. So let's go back to our hourglass strategy. Hourglass strategy. To ensure everything is good to go in order to place that trade. Man, is everything that's doing this? Now, when I'm not on these lives, it does not do this. I think there's a configuration or somewhere or whatever, the computer programming is not, it's not hooked up completely, or it's getting old and non-useful. So let's see if I can look at the currency meter. I might be able to tell a little bit. And then, all right, so again, we look, because we have to refresh this, guys. You have to refresh this stuff is in demand. JP in Japanese yen is still I am back. I am back. I think what's happening is my computer is moving a little slow now because the storage is filling up. So let's go back to this currency strength meter so I can share this so we can see exactly how whether we win trader, how easy to watch this exciting um, part where you can actually see what we're trading. Okay. All right. So let's see. So from the last time we were looking looking at the Australian against the Japanese. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick review. What that could, okay. So Australian dollar is still strong. The hourglass is saying it could be saying the same thing. It could be saying it is a call. But it looks like it's going to take a minute for it to hop up. So let's go into pocket option really quick to see how the market is looking, what it's doing in pocket option. And forgive me, y'all, I am on StreamYard, so I don't know. It could be some configurations. That's in StreamYard that go for me to be able to maneuver through with the storage issue. See loading up, and this is we take different, we trade them in the market. So pocket option, this platform serves as a broker. I'm gonna wait. So I'm gonna look at AUDJPY. We're gonna change whatever that comes up here, and we're going go in the market. Let's see, all right, if this will populate, my goodness. As soon as I get off this stream, this thing is going to move fast. All right, so let's change it for demonstration purposes. I always keep a small balance in here, but we're going to change that. We're going to use the demo version because you can play with fake money inside of a real market. That's the beautiful thing about this. Instead of you having to put your real money in, just understand when you play with fake money, when you trade with money, you can't withdraw that. That's just for and it's for to get you acclimated to learning and getting your feet wet. And then we're going to change this to AUD which stands for the Australian dollar. JPY stands for the Japanese yen. So you're actually going to be trading one currency against another. Okay, we were kicked out. I got kicked out. Got kicked out. Got kicked out. All right, so I'm about to share that screen again and see where we at. We should be wrapping up in this trade. We should be wrapping it up pretty soon. Wow, look at it. Look what it did. So we have what, a minute and 30 seconds left or less. Look at that. Look how it took off. Look how it took off. We got the market right here at this green line. Look where the market is right now. We have about 40, less than 40 seconds in this trade. Wow. And once we saw this, we could have possibly gotten in a couple of more times and rode it all the way up. So that would have been more opportunities for you to make some money. So we're close to, we have about 17 seconds. Hopefully it does not go below that green line. I don't think it is. We are currently in profit right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We have placed a order for a trade, guys, and we actually won that. So that was a $9 went into the market, went at 66%. 60% is an additional total of $14.94 in actually really 5 minutes. And your profit from that was $5.94. So this is how simple it is to leverage money that you don't even own. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here. And I hope this was very informative to you. And I am just elated to be here to share information with you. So have a wonderful night, and I'll see you again next time. Oh, and let me put my link here to get started. And for more information, we just put in a trade. There you go. There's my link in order for you to get started. This is how you're able to get started. We're currently running a special. About 8 minutes before that special will no longer be discounted. So right now, the cost to get in at least one of the academies is $185. If you want to do the elite package is $324, where you get everything. You get access to cryptocurrency. You get access to what I just showed you, which is high frequency Forex. You also have access to Forex trading, all the educators and the education that's and strategies that comes with those particular academies. Elite's $324.95, and each individual, if you want to just start with one academy, it's only $185 in the next 8 minutes. So have a wonderful time. I'll see you on tomorrow, hopefully.